I'm going to say this clearly, and I rarely say this. I will say with 100% certitude, there was no F-16 struck down. And let me tell you, I wish you shot the F-16 down. But I do not believe you did. And I believe my bona fides as a critic of Pakistan stands for itself. And I'm going to tell you why I don't believe you did, even though I wish you did. My Americanness, my national standing, again, does not hinge upon Pakistan's performance with an aircraft procured for me or via Jordan. Let me walk you through the evidence with a different point of view, one not impinged upon by dependent variable selection bias or confirmation bias. Let's begin with the video. For those of you who don't know me, I spent a lot of time in Pakistan. I've studied languages. The videos, we are told, came from Nowshera. You may not know this. People in Nowshera don't speak Punjabi. The video all show people speaking very ठेठ Punjabi. Oh, कितने बंदे हैं? वो 2 बंदे हैं, 3 बंदे हैं, और कितने parachutes हैं? No one in Nowshera speaks like this. This raises questions about the provenance of that video. Let's walk you through what you were told how it was so obvious, that all that stuff was so obvious. There's nothing obvious about it at all. In the video that in Gokale with all of the Bunde, which was then reported by ISPR, right? There's actually multiple explanations for these 2 shoots, and I'm going to walk you through at least 4 that present themselves. First, what we've been told, that one is from the MiG Bison and one is from an F-16. Now, how many of you are paratroopers? Any paratroopers in the house? Me. Awesome possum, great. Isn't it odd that parachutes from 2 very different platforms in that video would look identical? Now, when I talk to my colleagues in the US Army who are paratroopers, including those that are in my class, they find this very dubious. I also find it dubious. It doesn't pass the Bakwas test. Another possibility is that the 2 shoots represented a 2-pilot F-16, and that would explain why the shoots would look so similar. There's no evidence that this was a 2-seater F-16. Another possibility is that this particular MiG Bison had a drogue chute. That would also explain what we saw in the video. And the 4th, and I have to say I'm torn between 3 and 4, is that the video is a fake. I don't say that lightly. They don't speak Punjabi in Nowshera. They speak Hindko. Anyone who speaks Hindko? It's not what they're speaking in that video. Excuse me, we had a fellow here who spoke, with all due respect, sir, I will not be condescended to. There's a fellow who took 3 times the length that I have taken. I'm going to walk through the evidence, and whether or not you choose to listen to it, sir, ye aapki marzi hai, tuadi marzi hai. But I'm going to take my time. I was invited here. I came here from the United States amidst huge jet lag and a very busy schedule. So you, sir, should respect me as I respect you. So there are 4 possible explanations. It is not obvious that one of them is more obvious than the other. 2, Nitin Gokhale, among others, went to very great exertions to prove that it was a GE engine in the down photograph of the aircraft. Now, if you accept that this was a GE engine, Well, I got news for you. Pakistan's F-16 does not fly a GE engine. Everyone knows this. So what is it? If it's an F-16, it's something else, but it doesn't fly a GE engine. Sorry, that's just a fact, sir. You might not like it, but that's just the way it is. I didn't make the engine. I didn't tell the F-16 folks what engine to put in there. Everyone knows it flies a Pratt Whitney. The radar data. This is the most distressing thing as an analyst. Radar is essentially Doppler. And for those of you who don't know what Doppler is, I'm going to explain it to you. Doppler works like this. We send a frequency of noise, spectrum. It bounces off an object and it comes back. And what the device measures is the change in frequency as a result of hitting the device. And we put it through an algorithm which converts those changed frequencies into the object. F-16 is known for not having a terribly large, what we call radar cross-section. What happens in mountainous terrain is called a Doppler effect. And the way this works is, and you can imagine it where the aircraft were flying, it's a mountainous terrain, you have the noise bouncing off of the different mountain peaks. And so this actually creates in the radar a lot of noise, a lot of signal to noise. And effectively what happens is that the different frequencies bouncing off the mountain can give the illusion that an object has disappeared. So the only way these radar images can show definitively that an F-16 has been down is if we have the continuous video of that to show that the thing went down and it never came back. The other thing, and again, one of my students is an imagery analyst, the pictures that you just saw, they actually don't map onto one another. If you look across the pictures, the ratio of the images and the lovely diagrams that you saw that were so obviously labeled so that you could think you understand what you saw, the aspect ratio is not maintained across the images. Now, this is a problem. Again, I don't care what you believe. I'm simply telling you what the rest of the world believes. And Pakistan also knows what did or did not happen. And the reason why we care about the facts, again, is about conflict escalation and de-escalation, which is why all of us at analysts, we care about this, right? We care about the facts, not the politics of the facts, as Clausewitz so famously reminded us. Another important thing, now I studied Pakistan for a very long time. I spent from 91 to 2013 in Pakistan. It's a very leaky place. A friend and colleague of mine was able to identify.
I will dispense with any final thoughts unless one of my panelists some of the panelists want to make some thoughts.
No, so just one second. Before that.
1 second.
So just a second. Yeah. Dr. Ferris typically said certain things about certain evidence presented, ma'am. I'll just take a minute to quickly.
No, it's okay. There's not so.
No, so she's. I just want to correct her.
Yeah, okay.
On that, ma'am. The Punjabi speaking video. Did you see that here, ma'am?
Of course I did. And they don't speak Punjabi in no shara.
But I never showed any Punjabi video, and there's no clip, ma'am.
I'm talking about the video of the.
No, there are more videos, ma'am, and that's the whole point. And tell me, ma'am, how can you be so sure?
You know what? Can I just tell you this? You don't have to convince me.
No, ma'am, I'm not convinced.
You don't have to, and you won't, because I've seen the videos, and I know Noshera. They don't speak Punjabi there.
I'm not talking of Punjabi, neither Noshera. That's the whole point, ma'am.
Say, you don't have to convince me. You don't have to. That's not your job. But you have. But you're not. The facts matter, and I'm not a partisan. Like I said, I hope.
So you are accusing us we are presenting wrong facts, which is not the case.
I'm not saying this. What I'm saying is, when you look, evidence is a Rorschach blot. When you look at evidence with selection bias, you look at certain evidence in a certain way and you discount other kinds of evidence. And as a scholar, we have to always fight against this bias. This is how we find ourselves in conflicts that we don't understand. That's what I'm saying. Look at other evidence.
I think we'll take one question. Yes, somebody had a question there. Yeah.
Christine, I'm reading your book and I find it very interesting and very informative. I just want to ask you, there are two Nushairas. Which Nushaira are you talking about? Is it Nushaira near Peshawar? No. Where is it?
So there are two Noshairas, as you noted. One Noshaira is a very clearly Pashtun-speaking area, and you will also find Punjabis there for a variety of reasons. So this other Noshaira is in the Hindko-speaking belt, and they speak Hindko.
Okay. Now, I was brigade major. You know what a brigade major is? I was brigade major in Nushaira.
मेरी इज्जती क्यों कर रहे हैं? क्योंकि मैं औरत हूँ, ये बकवास मैं बर्दाश्त नहीं करूँगी.
Yeah, just a minute.
You think you're a Sikh? Dude, I'm an American Sikh, and I don't put up with this crap. If you want to insult me, we will take it outside.
I was brigade major.
I will not be insulted. And what you just did, sir, you took a friggin' punga with me.
Please.
Do you know what a PhD is in pungabazi? I did a PhD in pungabazi. If you want to take a punga, I will return it.
I was brigade major in Nushaira.
Oh, dear Lord, child.
Please hold on. I was brigade major